Sadhna,
Hi.
thank you for taking the time today to talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing this interview as part of a research on voice assistant.
Mm-hmm.
So, as part of this survey, we would like to ask you a few questions on how you have used
Mm-hmm.
voice assistants such as Siri or Google. Is
Yeah.
that okay with you?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Let me start with asking, do you have an Apple or an Android phone
I have
today?
an apple.
Okay, and have you ever used a voice assistant on Apple before?
Yes, I have used Siri.
For what tasks have you used them in the past?
I majorly use it to make calls while driving, or to set up my alarms, or to check my calendar, and then to find some restaurants nearby. So yeah.
Okay, that's great. So I understand you are a parent as well,
Yeah.
right? Uh, so if you had a personal assistant who
Mm-hmm.
could understand your voice
Mm-hmm.
and perform tasks for you,
Mm-hmm.
what tasks would you like it to do?
I would probably like it to give me voice reminders about my upcoming appointments and meetings, my personal meetings and appointments, and it would remind me to order groceries on a scheduled basis, and also remind me about any like parent teacher meetings, etc., which I would have added in my calendar. So it should be synced with my calendar and read out those meetings, etc. And then probably periodic reminders about my kids' vaccinations, and um, any key shopping stuff which I should be ordering, etc.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's a lot of use cases. It's interesting to know. Um, so as a parent, what are your biggest concerns when it comes to your baby's development?
Well, I would say there are two. One is the screen addiction. So I want to keep the screen time minimal, and secondly, nutritional development.
Okay. So regarding these two concerns, if there was a way where voice assistants could interactively narrate stories, in a human fashion,
Mm-hmm.
but not like exactly screen, but like more of an audio, would you
Mm-hmm.
actually use that?
Yeah, I would any day prefer to move my son to audio-visual aids versus going for audio aids versus going for screen time. So any interesting rhymes, stories, music, shlokas, etc. using a audio device would be a great idea, because an audio device is stimulating enough but not very addictive as a video, and it's not harmful to the eyes. So definitely that would be a good proposal to have. And also I think I would it would be fun to have the stories recorded on the device in my own voice to add that personal touch. So at the times when I am not available around, or when my son is missing me and I am in office, or on some of the days when I really can't read out a book to him in the night, we can play that pre-recorded stories, which would really be a personal touch, of personal way of using a device, and still keeping that touch alive.
Okay, perfect. So would you mind if assistants interacted with your son to read stories or educating
Yeah.
them in general?
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea, because kids anyway are very tech savvy these days. So it's a great way to, um, you know, make them learn new things without really building up an addiction. And also, it would keep them more engaged. And of course, I don't look at it as completely replacing the human setup of teaching and being there, but it can definitely be a very good assistance. And in fact, I could also use it to, my voice assistant to tell me some links to new stories, etc., and read out some stories to me, which I can later recite to my own son. So it could be a source of information for me. And one more thing is, I can use it for my son to ask any general knowledge related questions. So whenever he has any questions about about like any if he hears or he hears about something and he wants to know more about it. It can he can come back home and ask those questions to the voice assistant, and he can get all the practical answers to it. So that would be a very good way of educating kids. Yeah.
Wow, those are some wonderful use cases. So, would you prefer also the other concern that you raised was the nutritional development?
Mm-hmm.
So, would you prefer if voice assistant actually recommended some nutritional food for your
Yeah.
toddler, like on a daily basis?
Yeah, so probably what the way it could help me is to build up a meal calendar and give me a reminder on daily basis on what is the balanced meal I can offer to my son each day based on the preset meal calendar which I would have already worked out with the voice assistant. And it can it can speak out the recipes while I'm cooking once I on the device, and it can keep guiding me through the process. It can probably a day in advance tell me about all the ingredients I need to buy for the next day's cooking. So, and it can give me small tips and tricks to keep the to give, provide a well nutrition diet to my son.
Thank you. These are all very useful tips, Aradhana, and for thank you for your precious time.
Hmm.
Hopefully, we can integrate them into our product and
Perfect.
offer you all these services, which hopefully can help you reduce the problems that you see today as a
Yeah.
parent.
Hmm. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Aradhana.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.